So before we start with our main topic, I want you guys to listen to something. So, could you recognize what that sound was? Most of the people would have guessed it. Yes, it is a container being filled by water. But how? How did you do that? How were you able to tell a bottle being filled by water even without seeing it? Of course, you were able to listen to it, but is there anything else behind it? Today, we are here to explain it to you how one could differentiate sound so easily that even just by hearing the sound, you could tell what the source is.
So I have started filling the bucket now, and let's listen to the sound it makes. I think now the bucket is halfway filled, and I can feel a change in this sound. If you listen clearly now, it's a bit louder and sharper as compared to earlier. Now as you can see, the bucket is completely filled and the sound has yet again changed, and now it's much more sharper and much more clearer.
Now let us see what exactly happens in the bucket. The sound we hear is produced by the impulse applied by the falling water on the water in the bucket, and the change we experience in the sound is a change in amplitude and frequency of that sound. But why does this happen? Let's see what causes the change in loudness of the sound. Loudness of a sound depends on its amplitude, and as the water level increases, the impulse applied by the falling water decreases, leading to a decrease in amplitude and hence a decrease in the loudness. Now let's see what causes the change in frequency of the sound. The frequency of the sound follows the change according to the principle of resonance in a closed-end air column, where the top of the water level acts as the closed end and the brim acts as the open end, and the source of the sound is inside the container, that is a point of contact of the falling water and the water in the bucket. I hope you remember the tuning fork experiment from our junior colleges. But if you don't, never mind that. All you need to know is that the wavelength of the sound depends on the length of the air column. And for the nth harmonic, the relation is given as lambda n is equals to 4 by n times L. But how do we apply it in the bucket? Let's see. A bucket is almost cylindrical and can be considered as cylindrical air column. So for a container of height h filled up to a level of small l, the length of the air column is capital L, which is height of the container minus level of water. Therefore, our formula for wavelength becomes lambda n is equals to 4 by n times h minus small l. In this formula, L cannot exceed capital H. Now, the frequency of a sound is given as velocity upon wavelength. Therefore, the frequency for nth harmonic will be given as Vn by 4 times h minus small l. In this formula, we can see that as small l approaches h, the frequency increases. That is, when the water level increases, the frequency of the sound will also increase and will be maximum when the bucket is completely filled, which gives us a high-pitched, low-loudness sound. And that is all the physics behind the concept that we have shown. So, as we have seen in the explanation part, we can say as the water level reaches its maximum, that is, it is filled up to the brim, we say that the frequency of the sound stops increasing, and hence we can say that yes, the bucket must be filled. Frankly speaking, our mothers are pretty good at applying this concept in daily lives. Many of us must have been yelled at by our mothers for not turning off the tap at the right time when the water overflows the bucket. Well, if you ever wondered that how could she tell that the bucket is filled without seeing the bucket, now you know that it was not a superpower, not a hunch, it is just simple applied physics working behind the scenes that we have never considered. That is all from our side. We hope that the video was informative to you and that you learned something new today.